All right, season 4, episode 21, Zero Sum. Okay, pro tip. Don't smoke while on the patch. You can have a nicotine overdose. She is chewing the nicotine gum.
Yeah.
But I would say that's probably not a good idea either.
Yeah.
Don't smoke. Period.
Try not to smoke if you can help it.
Yeah. So she goes for a break in the bathroom where she's going to go smoke a cigarette, which I feel like in movies, people always smoke.
In bathrooms, like,
And like
you...
just all sorts of places. Where,
I know.
Like, we just watched something. Just watched something recently where someone was like smoking right as someone like walked in the room and they just like hid the cigarette. And I was like,
It's so weird because I'm like, you
bro,
can smell... Not only can you
through the
smell it
house.
100%, but you can also very clearly see smoke. Like, nowadays, in modern films, if they show somebody, like, vaping in a bathroom or something, that I find a little bit more believable, especially if it's like a weed pen, because that's not necessarily going to produce a lot of smoke. But like a vape, that would also be like, you can smell whatever fruity flavor, and then also there's like huge clouds. But yeah, for sure with cigarettes, you can't hide those.
oh my God.
Like, you cannot hide that
Cigarette
you're smoking.
smoke is one of the most pungent aromas. It is so toxic. Like, when you walk in, you're like, oh, someone's smoking.
Yeah, especially inside.
Yeah.
Obviously, nowadays, there's not many places that still allow you, if any, that
None.
still allow you to
Zero.
smoke inside. I remember when I lived in Florida, there was this, like, billiards place that we used to go to that had indoor smoking. Like, they had a smoking section still, and this was, like, you know, in 2015 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And but the whole place smelled like cigarettes.
Of course.
And also, like, I mean, yeah, anyway, but
I'm old enough to remember in the 90s when everywhere people smoked, especially in the 80s.
That's what I was going to say.
Everybody smoked everywhere. And then they, like, thought it was a infringement on their freedom.
Yeah.
It was like how politics are now. Everyone was freaking out when they were like, no smoking or having, you know, sections specifically outside for smoking. They're like, this is taking away my freedom. And it's like, your freedom to kill people with secondhand
I
smoke?
know. Oh, and people used to be able to smoke on planes, too. So crazy.
Doctors used to smoke while freaking doing examinations.
But I was going to say, just because, like, this is in the 90s, and so that was still kind of common, though, that people smoked cigarettes more frequently and also indoors and stuff, that maybe somebody could kind of get away with it smoking in, like, a bathroom or something. Because I feel like a lot of people would. I feel like a lot of people would go to bathrooms to smoke, though, right? Like,
smoking in the boys' room.
I don't know that song.
No.
No.
Oh.
Anyway, she goes in there to smoke, and then
she
a
gets
bunch of
stung
bees
to death by bees.
Kill her.
Very reminiscent of the scene in Sleepaway Camp, with her trying to get out of the bathroom stall, not being able to do so, and then when they come in, she's just stung to death, and there's no bees in the room. I don't understand this. I don't know why the bees are gone.
I don't know why the bees attack her.
I don't know either, but I know that, you know, we get smallpox back because these are those bees again. Skinner's sent in to clean up the evidence. This is a primarily Skinner episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, why the bees are there, and like they're, you know, this hive on the other side of the wall, and they come in and kill this girl, and they want it all covered up. I don't know. But that would be terrifying.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Really terrifying.
So yeah, Skinner covers up the case. He goes in like a cleaner, professional cleaner. He's taken everything out of there. And then once again, Skinner is definitely doing some cardio. He's doing some workouts.
Yeah.
He carries like a 180-pound body.
Crazy
like
long.
Forever. Up so many flights of stairs. long distances, and he is not even breaking a sweat.
Don't we even get like a shot of him shirtless in this episode too?
I don't know if it's in this one, but yeah, we do see
I
him
feel like
shirtless
we've
in
seen
this.
him shirtless a lot in the show. For like how little
It's pretty big.
he's in the show, I feel like we see him without a shirt more than... Have we ever even seen Mulder without a shirt?
Oh, many times.
Many times?
I figured you'd remember that more than me.
I
Maybe
feel like
I'm
we've
gay.
seen Skinner more without a shirt than Mulder.
More? No.
Without a shirt.
Yes. We've seen Mulder without a shirt quite a few
I know we've seen... Okay, I do know that. I remember now that we've seen him a few times, but I just feel like... Anyway, the proportion...
Have we seen Scully without a shirt
No.
and without a bra? No. And we need to talk to somebody about that because that is a gross oversight in the show. So the detective who runs into Skinner when he's hiding the evidence gets killed
Yeah.
just for like seeing him.
Just for being
Oof.
like a... Yeah, he's like, you know, the loose thread or whatever.
Man, Skinner says one thing in this, and it totally saves his ass because he goes to Mulder and he's like, remember who your friends are.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And Mulder's like, finds a freaking video evidence where they do the like, enhance
I
thing.
know.
And it's like, that's
and he's
not
like,
a thing.
that's Skinner.
Yeah, but he takes that and it's just like, I trust the good old skinny boy.
Yeah, well, they're like, yeah. I this episode is also, we have the kids at the playground, right? Which is really horrifying.
Yep.
They all get infected with smallpox and the teacher freaking dies.
I know, the teacher
to
goes
save
back for one kid.
that kid, and he has to like watch her
That's
die.
a damn
and
good teacher.
one kid dies in the hospital.
Multiple kids die in the
Yeah.
hospital, and Mulder or Skinner. Skinner comes in. Mulder. I can't remember which one of them.
I
We
think
watched
it's
this, like, a month
Mulder.
ago.
I think it's Mulder that comes in, and
And
he's like,
it's smallpox, and
you
they're
need
like,
to treat them for smallpox, and he's like,
there hasn't been a case of smallpox in
Yeah.
40 years.
yeah. Yeah, this is definitely an episode where, like, because Skinner doesn't come clean that he's, like, well, does he? See, this sucks now that I'm like, trying to remember if it happened in this episode. He doesn't come clean about, like, having to work for the smoking man, right? Like, or does he?
No.
It's a later episode, I think, that he, like, says something to Mulder, but
No. But Mulder does cover for him in this
he
episode.
does. He does.
And then we find out Laurie Holden's character is working
Yes,
for the smoking man.
that's what happens here. Whether or not she's like X, where she's like
Playing double
backstabbing him
Yeah.
too, I don't know.
agent. Yeah. Crisscross.
Crisscross.
I don't know. She tried to sleep with Mulder. He said no, which is pretty surprising for Mulder.
Yeah, for
think he's-
Mulder, for sure.
I think he's got his eye on somebody else, somebody with red hair.
Perhaps.
So that's that. Yeah. Good episode. I mean, I
like Skinner's episodes.
I do too.
I really like him as a character, and I like all the setup for like just having him be involved.
We had a couple negative Skinner comments in our last Skinner episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people were like, I don't give a shit about Skinner, so I don't care about this episode. So
I didn't see those.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
I love him.
You won't like this episode then. Yeah, I love him too. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I like his glasses. And I also still think that that actor is like attractive. So
I feel like he should shave his head.
I don't know.
horseshoe thing.
I don't know what that is. It's
I wonder what
very,
he'd look like with hair.
He's handsome. He's not ugly
That's what
at
I'm
all.
saying. What would he look like with hair?
I don't know. I guess I don't really care too much about like baldness.
If you've ever seen, there's this amazing thing. I would actually love to get into it. It's something that would really bring a lot of joy to my life as a hairdresser. There's these people who put like these toupees on people, like people who have male pattern baldness, people with like burns or birth defects or whatever, and it's amazing. Like it legit looks like hair, like 100%. It's incredible. They like glue it onto the head, and it's like washable and like you can play with it. I don't know what it's called, but if you find those videos, my brother sends them to me here and there, and they're like really rewarding videos because the people in them are like, you know, they can't help themselves, but they look like completely different people at the end of the video. It's incredible. If I could do that, I would love to do it. Mm-hmm. I would love to do it. I don't know how many clients I would have. I could probably build up quite a clientele in Sedona, to be honest, with doing that. I just don't know how much it would cost, how much time it would take, but I would love to see Mitch Pileggi, I think is how you say his name, with this. I'd be curious to see what he'd look like with hair. Mm-hmm. Like a head of hair.
Yeah.
I think he would look shockingly different.
Well, probably. I mean, hair can change anything, right? Whether you have it or you don't have it, you know, different styles and stuff can make you look like a totally different person. So
yeah, so that's that. Zero sum. We're done. All right.
Bye.
Bye.